You are listening to the Fringe Radio Network. FringeRadioNetwork.com.
You're listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of Earth Oddity. We thank you so much for listening to our show. Whether you are trying to regulate cow farts out in California, or whether you are trying to invite professional mermaids to your 21st birthday party, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, glad to have everybody here. If you're listening to this on Monday, it's my birthday, and you can send all the presents or, PayPal me money or whatever that you would like. Just contact me through the Facebook group, and we'll be able to work the details out on that. So, yeah.
I was about to say, fundraisers for charity are all the rage on Facebook.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No fundraisers for me, which literally for like a week prior to my birthday has been saying, hey, we'll donate $2 if you pick your charity you want to do it for. And I was like, nah, I'm good. No, I'm good. The charity I'm working for is the Long family.
The Long Foundation.
No, just our family. We need all the help we can get, guys. We are not doing a charity on Facebook for my birthday. Sorry if that's callous, but I'm just not into letting Facebook gather money for me. I'm skeptical of the internet. So
I had a friend who he has a bunch of like anti-gun friends. Yeah. And just to troll them, he did like $1 million fundraiser for the NRA on his Facebook page.
That's not bad.
Just to troll them.
Yeah, that's not bad. I can respect that.
Well, you got any good stories today?
I do. I got a stabbing in Antarctica.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if you believe Antarctica's real and not an ice wall around the flat
I was going to say, Antarctica is real.
Well,
we just can't decide if it's a wall of ice or a continent.
Yeah, or a continent.
Right,
yeah. So I got that one. Got another one about a city that wants to ban a lady. So that'll be pretty good.
We've all been there.
Yeah, I've been banned from a town before. So, I wonder if they still have that. So
I don't know.
That's a story I can't talk about.
I was about to say, we should...
Can't talk about that on air.
We should look into that.
I was just told not to come back. I don't know if that is a banning or not. I don't know if that counts.
Huh.
If there's any record of that
Well,
somewhere.
color me intrigued.
I haven't been back in 20 years, so there you go.
Well, first we're going to start off with this Satanic temple story.
Okay,
and
a little lighthearted, get everybody.
Yeah, we're going to ease into this.
That's right.
But before we get into this, I do want to say to everybody, if you fast forward through our ad reads, sometimes we don't blame you.
I do,
but you might not want to do that this week.
Oh yeah,
we have a big announcement.
Big surprise.
Right. We told you we had some irons in the fire, and one of those irons is coming out, and it's going to brand your ears.
Ooh.
It's going to brand you right in the face, and you're going to love it.
Well, I don't know if that's the best way to get them to listen. Like, we're going to burn an image into
I'm just trying to paint a picture. Maybe I painted the wrong picture.
Yeah. But look, it's going to be good fun. So you should listen, and you will enjoy it.
So the Satanic Temple, we've covered them before. They're not a new story.
Right.
It's something we've talked about before, but
now this is Olstein's church, right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is the other
Sorry,
one.
I get them confused.
They are accusing Netflix Sabrina. What would you call that? A reboot?
Oh yeah, they're redoing
The Chilling
Sabrina.
Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah.
It's not Joan. What's her name?
Melissa Joan Hart.
It's not Melissa Joan
Big
Hart.
Bama fan, by the way. If you didn't
really?
know. Oh yeah,
I
she
didn't know
married
that.
like I do from Alabama.
Okay.
So yeah, she didn't grow up in it like us, but
Well, she does know everything.
Oh yeah, yes, right. Yes.
No, wait, she explains it all. That's
Is
right.
that what it is?
It was Clarissa explains it all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, the Satanic Temple, they're accusing that show of appropriation.
Oh, for real?
Yes, they really are.
Goodness. This sounds like something that would come out of a Baptist church.
You would think. The Satanic Temple says Netflix Sabrina stole Baphomet statue design and is taking legal action against them.
Oh, wow.
So we talked about this earlier. They got this evil devil statue that they wanted installed on the grounds of the Arkansas State Capitol.
Yes, right, yeah.
The story starts here. And just so everybody knows, there's mild spoilers. So,
oh yeah, if you're
really into your devil shows and you don't want to spoil that, just you might want to skip to the next story.
Sure.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, a Netflix adaptation of the supernatural Archie comic story, has made thousands of fans among viewers, not among them members of the Satanic Temple.
Ooh.
On Sunday, Satanic Temple co-founder Lucian Greaves tweeted that the group would be taking legal action against Netflix and the show for appropriating its copyrighted monument design of Baphomet. He also added that Baphomet, and particularly their design of the figure, is a central icon to the Satanic Temple. Greaves confirmed to SF Gate that the group's lawyer sent a letter to Netflix regarding their depiction of the statue. In the new Sabrina series, half-witch Sabrina Spellman, that's a little on the nose, don't you think?
Right.
Is enrolled at a witchcraft school called the Academy of Unseen Arts, at which a Baphomet statue sits at the center. The show's Satan character, which also resembles Baphomet, is referred to as the Dark Lord, becomes Sabrina's adversary, which that doesn't really make sense. I thought she was going to his school. Why is he the bad guy in the show?
I don't know. There's a lot of plot twists in there.
I guess so. As CBR and broadly pointed out, the Baphomet statue created by the Satanic Temple does resemble the statue in the Sabrina series, putting aside the similarities adapted from the popular mid-19th century illustration. In both the temples and Netflix designs, Baphomet is flanked by two children looking up at his head. I assume everybody's Googled the statue.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's copyrighted.
I am too. Yeah. I didn't think you could copyright like an ancient devil figure.
Right, yeah. I mean, that seems weird to me, but whatever.
It's deeply problematic to us, Greaves said, who has seen parts of the show, but even if that wasn't the case, we'd be obliged to make a copyright claim because that's how copyright works. Greaves also noted that if the group didn't make the copyright claim now, it would have a weakened ability to do so in the future. In this instance, he said, we would have to send a message. So basically, he just goes on, and it's just, blah, 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 that's our statue.
Yeah,
and
right.
We're the Satanists. We are not to be trifled with. We're going to take you to court.
I mean, they're going about it all wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, what you do is you graft in with Sabrina and
ride that popularity.
To get more people to come to you, right?
You would think.
I don't want to give Satan any advice here, but I mean, that's what we should do in this situation, not create a legal, dilemma based off a copyright of a...
Well, the church has, I think, learned over millions of years that any depiction of Jesus, I mean, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad, but when it's bad, if you point out and try to take some kind of action against it, that's just going to make it worse.
Have you ever seen my bucktooth Jesus painting that I found?
No.
So as some people who listen may know, I'm a fan of really bad art.
Yes.
And I got this church actually I got this painting actually from our church. And it's so weird because I was talking to a guy about it at work. I texted him a picture of it.
Yeah.
And it's what I assume to be Jesus, and he has like some buck teeth. So I have it here on my phone. It's bad podcasting for everybody. Is that not horrible?
Well, it was probably painted by like a little kid or something.
I don't know. It was painted in like 74, I think. And,
that needs to go up in the Facebook group.
I'll put it up. And it was painted by, I can't really read the name, but 79 is the year it was painted.
Wow.
And but I think
nice hair. He's got a 70s hairdo too.
Yeah, that's 70s Jesus all the way. Hadn't quite got braces like he needs, or a retainer or something. I'll put that in the Facebook group tomorrow once the show hits. But yeah, imagine like if the church sued everybody who did a Jesus painting, you know, just because
it just makes it worse.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
I think it's kind of funny. Because I know a lot of people, especially in the church, we think of Satan as this big, scary guy. And don't get me wrong, I understand that he's the prince of darkness, but the whole point of the New Testament is he's been defeated.
Yeah.
Christ is in control.
Right.
And, if anything, Satan is like God's dog.
Yeah.
He can't do anything unless God allows it.
True.
So
Very
I
true.
find it humorous to me that, the big scary Satanist, they're going to take you to court because they're mad at you taking their statue designed for your show.
Right.
Yeah, they're not scary.
Yeah. Right. Now, I would personally, like if I was hanging out with some Satanists, or they're like, hey, yeah, we're Satanists. I'd be like, okay, no big deal. I wouldn't, I don't think I would be afraid of them. Like, oh, you're going to cast some spells on me or whatever,
Right.
Like, how does all that work? I would probably be more curious than anything else. But, I don't think he's as intimidating as they want Satan to be,
Right.
Like, especially for people who believe in Christ. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like, oh, well, hey, I already know how this book ends. I'll let you know it's not going to go well for you in the end.
On a totally unrelated note, I just had this thought the other day when I was getting ready. We Christians, we get kind of pressured into doing a lot of stuff. If you don't share this post on Facebook, then you don't.
Right, yeah.
If you love Jesus, you'll share this crudely drawn MS
Buck
Paint.
tooth Jesus.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'll put in our Facebook group.
I wonder if Satanists ever get pressured into doing stuff too.
Right,
you don't love Satan if you don't share this Facebook post.
If you don't kidnap a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child, you don't love Satan.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. There's probably very little pressure on the Satanist side.
Because they're getting them to, that's a pretty big leap.
Yeah, right.
Just to sign up for their newsletter.
Yeah, true. But you don't ever hear of them like boycotting Disney World or Target. I mean, there's a lot of pressure if you're on our side to do stuff.
That's true.
It's really wild. Yeah. I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble. Yeah. So anyways. So yeah, Satan. I don't know, Satan. I would like to see you not bring a lawsuit against Sabrina, but, but whatever. All right, so let's move along to our neighbors from the north here in Alabama, Tennessee. This comes from AP News, and the headline is Electric Chair Builder Worried Tennessee Execution Will Fail.
Oh, no.
So if Tennessee electrocutes Edmund Zagorski on Thursday, it will be in an electric chair built by a self-taught execution expert who is no longer welcome in the prison system and who worries that his device will malfunction.
Okay. I love this story. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out. I love this.
Self-taught execution expert. That's a title for your business card right there, you know?
I would imagine if you're an execution expert, that's not something you can major in at most universities.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. But how does he practice, that's the question.
That's horrifying.
There. Right, yes. So Fred Lucher, not to be confused with Fred Luter. Fred Lucher had a successful career in the execution business before his reputation was tainted by a claim that there were no gas chambers at Auschwitz. Okay, so let's get a little deep right there.
Yes.
There's a whole conspiracy theory about that if y'all out there listening don't know. And you can read it if you want to. I'm not going to go into all that.
No.
Tennessee's chair, which hasn't been used since 2007, is just one of many execution devices Lucher worked on before 1979 or between 1979 and 1990, according to an article by Fordham University professor Deborah Deno. In addition to the electric chairs, Lucher built, refurbished, and consulted on gas chambers, lethal injection machines, and a gallows for at least 27 states. Didn't even know they were still doing the gallows thing anymore.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I do know, I think the very last public execution or public hanging in Alabama, I think was in 1935. Oh,
yeah?
Which is not all that long ago.
Here's a brief bit of family history for me.
Mm-hmm.
My great-grandfather was a carpenter, worked on a lot of dams, helped build the Panama Canal.
Wow.
And I heard a story one time, and I don't know if it's true or not, maybe Mom can let me know, that he said the only thing he ever regretted building was a gallows for somebody for a hanging in Fayette.
Interesting.
And he said the story I heard was that it was during a time, I guess the Depression, they didn't have anything to eat, and he just had to get a job to get some money, and so he did it. But anyway, so.
Do you know if he was against the death penalty, or?
I don't I would imagine he wasn't,
He just didn't like building the gallows.
Yeah, I mean,
in this instance.
Do you want to be the guy that builds something that kills somebody,
Well, I mean, okay, maybe this is more a peek into how I feel about things, but there are maybe certain people out there. I don't think it would bother me as much.
Yeah, you might be right in that.
Like Ted Bundy, I would love to build his gallows. Yeah,
Let's see. In general, not to get called a liberal by everybody who listens on this,
right?
I'm anti-death penalty, so I wouldn't want to have my hands involved in that.
Well, now I will say that I'm really kind of undecided. I kind of waver on the death penalty myself.
Yeah,
but I do think that I think there should be a massive amount of evidence to be able to give somebody. I do think that sometimes there are some states in some cases where maybe we kind of hand out the death penalty and maybe we shouldn't because there's still a little room for doubt there.
Right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I'm just more of I would rather let God decide for somebody who just dies than man.
Yeah, I respect that. I can respect that.
But anyways, let's get back to this dude here. After his comments about the Holocaust, it came to light that he had neither an engineering degree nor a license, even though he promoted himself as an engineer.
Maybe it was a calling.
Right. Nonetheless, Luther stands behind the electric chair he rebuilt in 1988, relying on skills picked up designing navigational and surveillance equipment and a careful study of documents describing early executions. His concern is that Tennessee's chair will fail because of changes others made to it after he was no longer allowed to service it.
Oh, so he's saying Billy Bob over there.
Right.
He's done messed up my electric chair.
Right. He done got in there and changed the wiring around. So here's a quote
Shouldn't
from
have
him.
tried to jumpstart that truck.
Here's a quote from him. What I'm worried about now is Tennessee's got an electric chair that's going to hurt someone or cause problems, and it's got my name on it. I don't think it's going to be humane, he said. So, Governor Bill Haslam said he is confident the execution can be carried out without problems. I have a great deal of confidence in our Department of Correction folks. We've spoken with them regularly, and they've assured us the chair is ready. So Luther said he was familiar with prisons because he accompanied his father to his job as a superintendent of transportation in the Massachusetts State Prison in the 40s and 50s. As a teenager, Luther helped his father move the state's old electric chair when the prison relocated, and he remembers they had to do it on a Sunday because the warden didn't want the news media to know. I helped put the chair in the truck. We covered it up with a canvas, he said. Years later, when it looked as though Massachusetts might restart capital punishment after a long hiatus, a prison steward who knew Luther's father asked Luther to come in and see whether the old chair was still usable. And from there, his name kind of got passed around to other states and stuff. He said many of the electric chairs were decrepit and defunct and didn't work properly if they had ever had in the first place. So it goes on, blah, blah, blah. It says he refurbished the Tennessee chair in 1988 when it was facing the possibility of its first execution in decades. And he says it looks like it was made for a midget or something. Which
here he goes using the M word, this little person.
Right, not the proper terminology to be using, Mr. Luther. So anyways,
they're not going to be sitting there for long.
He said that he sold an original chair, a collector of murderabilia. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing.
People got weird hobbies. I collect weird bad art. So
well, I saw a documentary about it. There are people out there like you've heard. I mean, there's a lot of people who collect memorabilia. Murderabilia is it's really disturbing, but it's anything from serial killers or crimes or whatever.
Like OJ's glove or whatever.
Precisely.
Yeah, yes. I got you. People are weird.
They're weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that stuff, but that's just me.
Yeah. Electrical engineer reduced the voltage on the chair. This is his problem with it, from 2,640 to 1,750, and raised the amperage from 5 to 7.
So you don't think that's going to do the job?
Yeah. The timing was also changed from 2 1-minute jolts with a 10-second pause to a 20-second pause and a 15-second jolt. So anyways, he's got problems with it. I don't know. I don't think we do electric chairs in Alabama anymore.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of an electric chair being used in.
I thought this guy requested it.
Oh, okay.
I think, if I remember, it wasn't in this story, but I heard about that.
Well, I remember here a while back, wasn't there a guy in... Okay, I could be wrong on this, so everybody use your Google to check me on this. But I thought there was a guy in Utah that requested a firing squad.
Yeah, I think I remember.
I think I read about that. But yeah, I haven't heard about electric chair in forever.
Right.
I thought everything was lethal injection.
Yeah, right. You know, our electric chair in Alabama for forever was called the Big Yellow Mama. It's a great name, by the way.
That's a great band name.
It is. It is. Oh, man, that should be a hardcore band for sure.
Yeah, because then you could... Let that truck go by. You could have that. You could have that picture of that chair on your first album.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, and your lead singer like strapped into it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, now we're working. This is a good idea.
What would the name of that first album be?
Electrifying.
Electrifying
by Big Yellow Mama.
Juiced up.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, with a tagline like 1,700 volts of power, rock and roll.
Yes.
I like it. Yeah. So. Not enough to actually do anything about it. But if anybody wants to use that idea, we've copyrighted it and we will sue you. Just like the Temple of Satan would.
Yeah. I'm actually good if you just put in your little... Well, nobody buys CDs anymore. I was thinking, remember you used to get out the little...
Oh, yeah. And read all
insert
the lyrics.
And read the lyrics and read everyone's thank yous. Thank you to so-and-so.
Right. Yeah. Like, Nikki Sixx thanks, whatever it is, heroin dealer and all that. So, yeah.
90s kids will understand.
That's right. Yes.
Well, our next story is not quite as scary, but scary in and of itself. Alabama woman's zombie Halloween costume turns into a medical nightmare when her $3 fake teeth get stuck in her mouth.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
An Alabama woman's $3 finishing touch to her zombie Halloween costume landed her in a terrifying trip to the dentist after her fake vampire fangs wouldn't detach from her actual teeth.
Okay.
Anna 2 of Mobile County claims that she used the temporary glue that came with the fake teeth that she bought. She said that her efforts to remove the teeth, which had grown uncomfortably tight in her mouth, went on until around 2 a.m. I even took a pair of wire clippers and cut the tips off the fangs because they were bothering her so much.
Oh, man.
She told WKRG. Her growing pain led her to search for an emergency dentist who could see her right away. She wound up at Dr. John Murphy's chair at Alabama Family Dental on Saturday. He told the news outlet that the shape of teeth and gums can sometimes cause a product to get stuck. So I guess maybe there's just something about the shape of her teeth that caused it to get like maybe super, super tight.
Yeah.
And it just got stuck on there maybe. He talked about drilling. They had a saw and talked about taking them off in sections. And get this, he couldn't numb it because they were scared that he would actually pull her real teeth out. Like
because
like he couldn't numb her up because if he started, getting his teeth off and she couldn't feel it, he might take her actual teeth out.
Yeah, I think I would just be like, I'll take my chances.
She told the news outlet, so he went in and picked and pulled, and I squealed like a baby, and they got them out.
Wow.
2 said that that's the last time she uses fake teeth. I would think so.
Yeah, I bet.
She hopes that others learn from her ordeal. I will never do it again, she told the news outlet. I will never put anything like that in my mouth again.
Okay.
And I would add editorially, that's what you get for worshiping Satan.
Well, I would just say that if you bought something at like Spirit Halloween and you trust that the glue and everything's going to work perfectly.
That came from Taiwan from the lowest bidder.
Right. Then your judgment's in question anyways. I don't necessarily feel horrible for you, but that had to be a bad feeling when you knew you couldn't get them out and you're like,
oh man.
Hey honey. Hey honey. I need your help in the bathroom. Whatever. Oh, that would be bad. That would be real bad. You'd feel just like crazy. And you're like, I got to work tomorrow with these.
Maybe you just embrace it.
That's what I would do.
You start calling yourself Jaws. You're biting through elevator cables.
I don't like the dentist. And if you've seen me smile, you know why. I don't like the dentist at all. And, I would have to just wear them because I'd be like, I'm not voluntarily going to the dentist.
Every time I go to the dentist, there's always some huge expensive procedure that they want to put me through.
Right.
I've never gone for just a checkup, and it was just a checkup.
Yeah, right.
So
The two things you're going to get at the dentist is a really high copay and bill, and that you need to floss more. Because apparently, I don't know who it is in the world, but everybody I talk to, they're like, yeah, my dentist says I need to floss more.
Yeah.
You know? There's probably one person out there in the whole world that's flossing the proper amount, but the rest of us are not.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was George Carlin had a joke, or I don't know, maybe it wasn't him, that he said, do you want to know how hard it is to start flossing regularly? He said it's like equally as hard as stopping smoking. Anyways, I don't hate dentists, but I hate going to the dentist.
I do too.
It's like when I had a bunch of dental work done, it's probably been after Hudson was born. It's about well, how old is he? He's 10. Okay, it's about 10 years ago. And so they were like, okay, well, your bill's $1,250 or whatever it was. And I was like, hey, I have dental insurance. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's with your insurance. And I was like, well, I just had a kid with like major heart problems and everything, and it cost us like $50, copay, and everything's covered. And you guys just like replaced a couple of my teeth and pulled stuff out. And they were like, yeah, well, dental insurance works differently than medical insurance. And I was like, well,
it seems like it doesn't work at all.
Right. I was like, that's really strange, So, anyways, I don't know. I don't get how all that works.
My dad, he had to go to the dentist here a while back. And his dentist, he says, has a policy where if you are 15 minutes late to an appointment, they'll still try to work you in. But I think there's like a $50
like a fine?
A $25 or $50 fee.
Yeah.
They call it a fee.
Right.
Of course. This is really a fine.
Right.
Yes, they call it a
fine.
fee.
Right.
Well, he shows up for his appointment at 9:00, and they don't call him, and he gets to be 9:15, and they don't call him. It gets to be 9:30.
Oh.
He got up from his chair and walked up to the desk and said, "Hey, can I have my $50?" And she's like, "Your $50? What are you talking?" She's like, "What's your name?" He says, "Jimmy Sullivan." And she says, it says here that you're not over. What are you talking about, $50? He says, "Well, if I'm late for my appointment, I get charged $50. Well, I've been here, but the dentist is late for his appointment. Do I not get to charge him $50?
Right, exactly. Perfect logic.
And she said, "It doesn't work like that, sir."
Yeah, no. But I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to find me, I should be able to find you back.
Yes.
So, yeah. I don't know. I don't have to worry about that. So
yeah.
Because I don't go to the dentist as often as I need to. Okay, moving along here, we got a story from AJC.com. That's the Atlanta Journal and Constitution for those who no longer read print news media. And it asks a question: can a city ban a woman it deems a nuisance? One in Georgia is trying. So by September, officials in Statham, Georgia decided that they were fed up with dealing with Catherine Corcoran. For more than 18 months, Corcoran drove from her southwest Atlanta home to attend every city council meeting in the hamlet that sits about 15 miles west of Athens.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. She was a vocal participant, often challenging council members on procedures. This year alone, she filed, by the Statham City Clerk's estimate, close to 100 open records requests for documents regarding the city's budget, the police department, and general policy protocols. She regularly criticized the city and its officials on social media. I did ask for a lot, she admits. Where the mayor, police chief, city attorney, council members, and administrative staff saw a troublemaking outsider, as one council member deemed her, Corcoran saw herself as someone on a mission. Her former partner had been involved in a protracted legal battle and civil rights lawsuit with the city of Statham over a 2015 traffic stop. After her former partner died, Corcoran saw it as her duty to continue the fight. It has set up a unique First Amendment challenge in Georgia, one that asks how far a municipal government can go in addressing a citizen it views as a persistent gadfly. You don't hear gadfly used too much, but I'm glad they used it. Corcoran's battle reached a fever pitch in September when the city council voted to ban her, not only from attending city council meetings, but from setting foot on any city-owned property within 3.5 square miles. The duration of the ban, you might ask, was for the rest of her life.
How do you enforce that?
I don't know. The city council's actions, while not unheard of, almost never happen without charges being filed against a person accused of committing a crime. Cynthia Counts, an Atlanta First Amendment attorney who is not involved in the case, said the move could violate the Constitution. Citizens have the right to express their subjective viewpoints, good or bad. If a city banned a person from a public meeting based upon a disagreement with a person's criticisms, that clearly would violate the First Amendment, Count said. Corcoran she's 47 years old, hasn't been officially charged with any offenses in Statham. Now she has filed her own lawsuit against the city saying it trampled upon her free speech rights, and the court is scheduled for a preliminary hearing in the U.S. Northern District Court in Gainesville in a couple of weeks. Sandra Moore and Tony McDaniel also initiated similar lawsuits after the city earlier this year banned the two from all city property indefinitely after they were accused of and arrested for trespassing in a city park.
Oh, wow. So this has gotten to this point where they're actually slapping the old bracelets on them and shipping them out.
It seems like the garden variety drama you see in any city or county, but they are taking aggressive, illegal actions to suppress it, said Zach Greenemeyer, I guess is how you pronounce his name, an attorney for Corcoran. Moore and McDaniel, all three of them. He's representing all of them. So he's like, let's get paid, y'all. So it goes on to talk about how her partner, how it all began when her partner, Kelly Pickens, was stopped by a Statham police officer named Mark Lofton on her way from an antique store. In the incident, Lofton wrote that Pickens didn't have a license on her SUV and was driving above the 25 mile per hour speed limit. I like to say 25 miles per hour.
Kind of low.
That's one of the cruelest things in the world is a 25 mile per hour speed limit. Pickens had just purchased the car and had paperwork proving she was in a legal period before she had to display her new license plate, and she said she wasn't speeding. But Lofton also did something he had begun to do regularly since joining the police force in June of 2015. He asked Pickens if she was on any medication. Pickens, according to an affidavit from her doctor, was on medication for major depression and anxiety, but said the drugs prescribed to treat her condition shouldn't impair her ability to drive. According to the incident reports, Pickens disclosed that she was on medication, at which point Lofton gave her a battery of tests to determine her sobriety. In the afternoon sun, Pickens grew frustrated, uttered an explicitive, and allegedly called Lofton a jack.
Gotcha.
All right, just in case kids listen. That's not. I don't consider that to be.
That's what I say. That's actually a minor. That's a pretty mild word.
Right.
Actually,
it's actually a term for a mule. I mean, people use it all the time. So
I would assume for everything she's having to go through that he's making her do, he got off good.
Right.
That's all he got.
Right. He arrested her for disorderly conduct, driving too fast, for conditions, and DUI drugs less safe.
DUI drugs.
Yeah. So anyway, that started the whole brouhaha with this lady going and filing her complaints. I mean,
so she's just trying to make life difficult. For them,
pretty much.
But shouldn't it be like that officer? I feel like the city council,
right?
They're kind of getting caught in the crossfire here.
Yeah, but they have authority over the police department, so I guess it's probably just drifted up to there,
right?
You know, I don't think banning the lady was a proper thing to do.
No,
you know,
and especially and when she comes on like into town and she's at the park,
right?
That
was two other people.
Okay, never mind.
They got banned just because they were arrested for trespassing at the park.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but I feel like if I was on the city council, which they would never let me on any city council ever, I would say, "Hey, Ms. Corcoran, let's just have a conversation.
Yes,
what's it going to take to make you go away?" You know, right? Let's start right here. And she may say, "I need $3 million," and I would go, "Well, you know,
okay,
what?
Well, we can't do $3 million.
Right. Exactly.
How about we spank the police officer in the public square? Everybody gets to come out and watch it.
Yeah, and we go, hey, we'll do 200 and we'll fire the police officer. Yeah, you know, and I bet you she'd be like, sure, that's fine. And then she's out of your hair.
Yeah,
and now you got a First Amendment lawsuit against you. Everybody who's going to run against you for city council, if they're smart, will bring up that you want to trample on the rights of citizens.
That's going to happen.
Right.
If you don't bring this up, you're not qualified to be
you shouldn't even be
a politician.
Yeah.
So you do not know the rules of the game if this don't come up.
Yes, you've opened up a whole can of worms that you didn't have to.
Yes.
Now, public records requests, she filed over 100. Who cares? That's no big deal. That's some clerk's job down at the courthouse. Don't worry about that.
And they probably need something to do on Sunday anyway. Right?
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Yeah, that's right. I know a guy that's got some public records requests in. I'll just say that. But anyways, so I don't think that's that big a deal. But her coming and breaking up your meetings, because you got a schedule and you're trying to address stuff and you have to, and we got to talk about paving 6th Street downtown or whatever they're doing,
And you're already dreading that conversation.
Yeah. Yes. Right. And she's going to be there every time bringing up stuff. So you just need to let's just be grown-ups here and sit down and be like, hey, maybe we were wrong in doing this and we want to do what's right and we don't want to admit any guilt because we don't need any other further lawsuits coming up. What do we need to do to make you happy in this situation? And then handle it, Mm-hmm. But they wouldn't let me on a city council because that's probably
that makes too much sense.
Well, it's probably against some kind of rules or something to do that,
Oh, you mean the rules that nobody follows in the first place?
True. Yeah. But I would just be like, let's look. We just need to get this lady off our back. She's making it horrible for all of us. And she don't want to drive down here every week. I guarantee you she don't. Mm-hmm. She would love an out in all of this, and we're not giving her one. So let's make her an out and allow her to go on with her life.
We're just going to suspend the police officer.
Yeah.
And we're going to
just fire him. I don't just fire him. That's going to be perfect. I don't even know. It may have been that article. That article's forever long. He may not even be with the police force anymore. But I don't know. And he probably shouldn't be asking people if they're on medicine, unless they are, showing some signs of being drunk or something.
And maybe she was.
Yeah, maybe
but just from the article we're reading.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she was.
I feel like I feel like it wouldn't have gone to this far if there wasn't at least some genuine grievance here.
Well, I'll say he, in general, I like police officers. And,
I do too. I love police officers.
A lot of family members of police officers and everything.
I got pulled over Friday night because I had a headlight out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and the guy he took my license and he said, "All right, Mr. Sullivan, I'm going to let you go. Just get your headlight.
White privilege.
Just get your headlight, fixed."
Yeah.
And he was an African American police officer. Oh. He could have got me, but he told me he's going to let me go.
Right.
And I shook his hand and I said, "Man, you got a tough job. Just be safe out there, because I know you deal with a lot of people out there who are not, completely innocent, law-abiding podcasters like myself.
Right.
I know you deal with some people who don't have your best interest in mind. So you be safe out there, man."
But yes, I'll say, but in general, they don't really like it when you challenge their authority, or that's whatever, true. And they're like, when you're standoffish with them. Now, I understand their perspective. They need to be in control of the situation. They need to be forceful for certain reasons, and project an image of authority. And I get that. And so you should be polite back to them for the most part. Now, you don't want to get your rights trampled on or anything, but, I imagine she was probably a little standoffish with the guy, which probably led to all this, because he's like, "I got all day, lady. I'm working a 12-hour shift here.
I get paid by the hour.
Right. I'm working a 12-hour shift here. Let's just get on out of the car and let's do a field sobriety test or whatever, you know?" And just giving her grief back because he was giving her grief back. Now, I don't know if police should do that or anything, but I understand.
Right.
There's a reason I'm not a police officer, because I would do that to everybody. I would be horrible.
You would crack every single one of them over the head with that billy club.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just like, "Oh, were you talking back to me? Wow. Yeah. Quit resisting. Yeah. So they won't let me be a police officer or a city. I just can't work in the public. Like the government whole thing.
Gotcha.
I'm not cut out for it. Much better for private sector work.
Yes. So in summation, they really should have they should have handled it internally, dealt with the police officer, and maybe gave her a $25 Applebee's gift card.
Yeah, right. Something like
and send
that.
her on her way.
Yeah. I'd imagine it'd be a little bit more than that, but yeah. just give her enough for all her trouble.
Yeah. Our next story here, and This isn't controversial at all. California decides to regulate cow farts in order to fight global warming.
Okay. All right.
And funny enough, this isn't the first time I've heard of this. You know,
Yeah.
that cows are a huge
Right. They create a
detriment
lot
to
of
the
methane
environment.
gas. Right.
That's why we should all be vegetarians.
Right,
And
yeah.
quit, raising so many cattle.
Right. Yes.
Well, here we go.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lindsay.
One of
for
our big
putting this up.
contributors,
She's
Yeah.
awesome.
Solid. She is awesome. She's a great person. Just a great human being altogether in every way. So
Yes. California has become the first state in the union to regulate cow farts. The Golden State enabled legislation in September that will regulate greenhouse gas emissions from farms and landfills, including cow flatulence, a major source of methane, which is a more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. I'm curious, how do you regulate that?
I
You know?
guess it would be diet.
Well, it says here,
I'm just thinking how I regulate my own.
and this is from the AP, quote, "If we can reduce emissions of methane, we can really help to slow global warming," said Ryan McCarthy, a science advisor for the California Air Resources Board, which is drawing up rules to implement the new law. Livestock are responsible for 14.5% of human-induced greenhouse gas emissions, with beef and dairy production accounting for the bulk of it, according to a 2013 United Nations report. I will say 2013, I think we need another,
Yeah,
we need
let's
another
update that.
study. Let's
Right.
update that.
Let's update that.
That's been a while. Since the passage of its landmark global warming law in 2006, California has been reducing carbon emissions from cars, trucks, homes, factories, all while boosting production of renewable energy. In the nation's largest milk-producing state, the new law aims to reduce methane emissions from dairies and livestock operations to 40% below 2013 levels by 2030, McCarthy said. State officials are developing the regulation, which will take effect in 2024. So, depending on how the regulations are crafted, they could result in price increases on milk and other dairy products for consumers all over the country. California dairy farmers say they're already struggling with high labor costs, a drought, and low milk prices. Because I think I read somewhere else that milk is right now.
Yeah, it's bottom out.
We've got way too much milk, and there's not enough people drinking it.
Right.
Even with elementary schools across the nation drinking nothing but milk for lunch, still can't get enough of the stuff. Or still got too much of it, I should say. Says here, California regulators plan to combat the methane that is produced by the digestive system of cows. Cows release the methane when they pass gas, belch, or produce manure. One of the ways they plan to reduce methane emissions is by requiring farmers to change the diets of their cows.
Boom, I got it. I'm
There
a
you
scientist.
go. You're a scientist.
I'm a scientist.
It's brilliant. For example, Australian scientists have discovered that adding a sprinkle of dried seaweed to a cow's diet reduces the amount of methane it produces by 99%.
Okay, I'm all for
So
that.
maybe you need to eat a little more seaweed.
That's right. Yes. I wonder why Deidre had been buying kale chips.
The same scientists who made that discovery are now trying to scale up seaweed production to meet global demand. There's no estimate on how much this seaweed will cost, which, I mean,
Yeah.
down in Gulf Shores, it just washes up on
Right,
the
so I was
beach.
gonna
Can't you
say.
just go get some?
But, I mean, that's actually, I'm not anti that policy.
Yeah.
It might raise the dairy or cattle farmers' costs, but that'll just get passed on to the consumer.
I was about to say, that's what I'm against. You know, I'm not against curbing emissions, but I don't like higher milk prices.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, but, if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. And, everything's illegal in California anyways.
Right.
Everything will cause cancer and everything is illegal. So it probably won't affect us too much.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine in this area of the country, we probably get most of our dairy from the East Coast anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I would think. So, from around here, there's a lot of dairies in Alabama.
Right.
But dairy farming's hard work, man.
Yes, I would imagine so.
That's real. You got to milk them every day, twice a day. Doesn't matter.
Probably early, too.
Early and late. And doesn't matter if it's Christmas, doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving, you're out there. 'Cause I delivered feed to dairies.
Right.
And, I mean, it's hard work.
Did it have any seaweed in it?
No. I would have
Said
to.
it was an Australian scientist that figured it out. I wonder how that went. Like,
That's true. How do you measure?
I don't know.
That's
Hey, mate, put some seaweed there. Seaweed down in his diet.
You know what works? Try a little seaweed. Sprinkle a little seaweed in there. But it says it's just a sprinkle, so I would think you could just mix it in when you're making their pellet feed or whatever you're feeding them, and let it go. Because they'll usually put some feed in the troughs to get them up around the feed bar, and then they come on in, or the milking bar, and they come on in. But yeah. So I used to tote 50-pound bags of cattle feed into barns and stack them up tons at a time. I would have to do it like 2 tons.
Man,
I was in shape back then. It would kill me now to do that. I would literally die. No joke. All right, so let's move on here to the LA Times. This story is really short. Antarctica is from Antarctica. A scientist allegedly stabs colleague for spoiling the endings of books.
Justified.
A Russian scientist working in Antarctica is facing attempted murder charges after allegedly stabbing a colleague for telling him the endings of books he wanted to read. Sergei Savitsky, an engineer, is accused of stabbing welder Oleg Belagos in the chest, the Sun reports. Belagos was evacuated to Chile for medical treatment, and his life is reportedly not in danger.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. The stabbing took place at...
He will live to spoil again.
The stabbing took place at Bellinghausen Station, a Russian research station in the South Shetland Islands in Antarctica. Savitsky, the alleged attacker, was taken to St. Petersburg and arrested. The alleged attack was said to be the result of an argument between the two over Bergolov's habit of spoiling the endings of books that he had read from a remote outpost library. Although he faces criminal charges in the Russian city, Savitsky will probably have access to plenty of books that Bergolov hasn't already read. The Russian news agency Interfax reported that he surrendered on his own and without resistance to the station manager. Alexander Klepikov, great names in Russia, the deputy director of the Arctic and Antarctic Research Institute, said Stravinsky and Bergolovs, they are both professional scientists who have been working in our expeditions, spending year-long seasons at the station. It is down to investigators to figure out what sparked the conflict, but both men are members of our team. Some reports suggest that alcohol was involved.
You think?
Yeah, that's how it ends. But, just thinking of the welders I know, they're not real big readers.
Right.
So, but I guess in Antarctica, there's not a lot to do. Yeah, the cable service is not too good. Yeah. So I think you'll probably get direct TV down there, though.
I don't know.
Because it's like satellite based or something.
You would think so. Well, they have the internet, don't they? So if they got internet, they've got Netflix.
Do they have the internet?
Sure. I thought the internet was everywhere now. Is it not?
I don't know about Antarctica. Because it's an ice wall that rings around the flat Earth.
Yeah, but I mean, there's something there. There's got to be, even if it's a wall, there's got to be a spot somewhere where they can build a little research outpost. I mean, you got to have somebody stationed there to keep all the truthers away.
Right, yeah.
From figuring out the
to
truth.
Fight them all off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to man that wall. Yeah.
And so while you're there, looking for truthers to keep away from the truth.
Right.
You got a guy who doesn't have a lot to do. He's reading a lot of books, and he's got a friend who flat out refuses to issue spoiler alerts. And he's ruining this man's only form of entertainment.
Yeah, it walks in, he's like, "What you reading there, buddy?" To Kill a Mockingbird? Let me tell you all about it. It just kills him. Whatever. I don't know. I wonder what kind of books they have down there. It's kind of interesting.
I bet it's Harry Potter. In Russian. It's probably just now made its way to Russian.
Or it's like War and Peace is like the only book they have. Like you can read that in a year. So, yeah. But anyways, everybody hates spoiler people. I don't really mind it, though. Like, I don't watch a lot of movies, so people tell me the endings to them all the time. And then I'll watch them later on. It doesn't bother me, even though I know how it ends. So, I still read the Bible. I know how that ends. So, anyways, yeah.
I would say reading the Bible, though, is different than reading a fictional narrative.
True, very true.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of spoilers either, which is why I made sure to give out a spoiler warning for everyone into their devil shows on Netflix.
That's right, into Sabrina.
Yes. Me, I'm more of a making a murderer type of guy.
Yeah.
But I guess I know how that ends too. He's still in jail.
They came out with a second one of those, you know.
I'm 4 episodes in.
I hadn't watched any of it.
Yeah.
But I heard it was pretty good.
I'm open to what the evidence shows.
Yeah.
Currently, I think my personal opinion is I think Brendan Dassey is innocent.
Of course he is. That's the WrestleMania guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
He's totally
he just wants to watch WrestleMania.
Yeah, he didn't even know what was going on.
Yes.
That was like one of the shadiest things
The
ever.
cops were telling him, "Hey, you just tell us you killed this girl, and we'll send you back to class."
Yeah.
And the kid's dumb enough to believe it, and
Right.
he did just that.
Exactly. Yeah,
But-
that was some shady stuff.
Now, I will say, Stephen Avery, I'm not convinced that he didn't do it,
Yeah, I don't know if he did
but
or didn't.
but we'll see.
yeah.
You know,
I don't know if he did or he didn't, but that Brendan Dassey kid should not be in jail. No. And he should be granted out and a lifetime access pass at any WWE event he wants to go to.
right now he should be sitting in a toll booth, getting yelled at for not counting change by somebody trying to go through.
Yeah, that was a travesty.
Yes.
And also, spoiler alert, I guess, in case anybody hadn't seen this. Also, the police sketch that guy did, back when he got arrested the first time.
Yeah.
That was like one of the craziest things in the whole. You're like, does this actually happen? And I guess it does, but
he wasn't a sketch artist.
No.
He was just a guy who's like, oh, I know what Stephen Avery looks like. Let me draw his picture.
Let me draw his picture, and then he had framed on the wall.
Yeah.
It was like, what was the meme? Like when you frame your framing of a suspect. How crazy is that?
You know that dude, he got, when that case was over,
Yeah.
he was like, no, this is too good for the refrigerator.
That's right.
This is going in a frame.
I want this on my office wall. Yeah.
The refrigerator door is too lowly a place to hang this painting.
I want this right by my desk so I can look over there every day and go,
Got him.
got him. Did a good job. Did a good job with that. Look at the detail on his nose. You're like, oh, man.
It looks just like this picture that I drew it from. My mom would be so proud of me.
I'd tell my high school art teacher to suck it, That was wild.
All right.
Anyways, if you hadn't seen that, sorry.
This has been...
Don't come and stab us.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Let's see. Well, my personal last story here, and if you have small kids, you may not want them hearing a certain term that we're going to refer to, but this next story is about mermaids, and the headline is, professional mermaids say that, quote, merverts are making their lives a hassle. In 2018, it's felt impossible to get away from reports of inappropriate behavior plaguing a bevy of industries and workplaces from Hollywood to the restaurant industry. They're referring to the whole Me Too movement. Mm-hmm. Well, bad news. Apparently, not even the ocean is safe.
Oh, no.
Women who work as professional mermaids at theme parks, aquariums, and children's birthday parties say that they are increasingly besieged by inappropriate attention from people that they have termed merverts.
Okay.
Yes. So the Me Too movement has now extended to the Little Mermaid.
To the Little Mermaid.
Yes. It says here, this is a lady. I have been swimming with sharks that to me is not as scary as dealing with some of these aggressive men. Canadian mermaid Stephanie Norman told Fox. Some people just imagine relationships that aren't there. Like bronies of the sea, the merverts flock to their flippered targets online and in person to make obscene comments and send and solicit wrong pictures.
Oh, sure.
That they've given the phrase chasing tail a whole new meaning.
That's a good line. Yes. That's a great line.
Apparently, across the pond, mermaiding has ballooned into a full-blown mermaid economy, although multiple women have been reprimanded for wearing their tails in public pools, according to the Telegraph.
Okay.
I didn't think that was a rule.
Yeah.
You can't wear your mermaid
wear
tail,
a mermaid tail in the
in
pool?
a public pool? I guess not.
Huh.
The trend has also reached Hong Kong, where a business called Aqua City charges hundreds of dollars for mermaid master classes, teaching people to swim and pose in their tails. The South China Morning Post reported last year. A woman who goes by the name Mermaid Cat has opened mermaid schools in Thailand, Germany, and Australia.
Is it really that difficult? I mean, does there need to be a school for it?
Well, maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
I've never swam in a mermaid tail.
Yeah, but you just flap your legs, right?
I mean, you got to flap them together. And
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. You flap your legs together.
Your parents have a pool. Let's test it out.
I'm saying you flap your legs together doing certain strokes, like the breaststroke. Maybe not the breaststroke. Yeah, I think the breaststroke. Yeah. Or maybe it's the butterfly. But yeah. So, I mean, it's not unheard of.
Right. Well, maybe some people just don't know how to swim. Yeah. And they figure if they want to learn to swim, they want to learn from the master swimmer, the mermaid.
Or this lady's just got her a good little business idea right
maybe.
Here. Yeah.
Okay, it says professional mermaids, for their part, talk to each other and help each other stay safe. Us mermaids have strategies that we all tend to share this information with each other. If there's one particular individual who's been harassing a lot of mermaids, we'll all get together and we'll make sure that he's blocked on everyone else's Instagram and Facebook posts and all that stuff. So all you guys, if you like mermaids, you better be nice because they stick together.
Yeah.
And you won't have any mermaid pictures except Google image search.
Mermaids swim together.
Yes. And that's the end of the article. But
I'd just like to once again blame the internet for allowing weirdos to get together.
Yes.
Because, 30, 40 years ago, if you were like really into mermaids, you kept that to yourself. Like you didn't know anybody else was into mermaids. You just kept that to yourself. And now,
And when someone came over to your apartment and was like, hey, do you have Splash on Blu-ray?
Right.
And DVD and VHS? You're just like, well, yeah, but my mom's really into that.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, you like pass it off. But then you get on the internet and you go to mermaidlovers.com or whatever it is and start talking to other people who love mermaids. You're like, okay, all right, this is cool. This is acceptable.
I'm normal.
Yeah, I'm normal. This is acceptable. And the next thing you know, you're harassing mermaids down at some kid's birthday party. Yeah.
How horrifying for the mermaid, though.
Yeah. You can't run away, by the way, once you're on dry land.
True.
So you got to hop or something.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But imagine, let's imagine that you're a mermaid. I know that's kind of a stretch for us. Let's pretend.
No, I can imagine that easily. Okay.
I mean, you think you're going to a birthday party. Maybe you think it's a kid's birthday party and you show up and it's a bachelor party.
Right, yes.
It's horrible.
This is really weird. Yes. I think you guys read my job description wrong. I just want to say up front, guys, the seashell bra stays on the whole time, not taking it off. Okay? Yeah. All right, just want to get that out of here. I know it's a bachelor party. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm not dropping the seashell bra. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I say, that's one of the things I blame the internet for. Letting weirdos get together,
Yes.
And before anybody gets their feelings hurt, I'm talking about people that are into mermaids and stuff and My Little Pony. Okay.
The bronies.
Yeah, the bronies, which they referenced in the article.
But I mean, the bronies, they're just dudes who watch a cartoon. I feel like that's far, far more innocent than the guys who are trying to hit up.
Me and you both know how guys are. I guarantee you there's some questionable brony material on the internet somewhere. I just guarantee you.
Why? Okay, I know you're right, but why did you have to put that in my head?
Because I don't want you legitimizing their movement, okay?
Okay.
All right? I mean, everybody be who you want to be and all, but let's just not get too weird with it, all right? I mean, it's just... You ain't got to harass mermaids, all right?
Yeah, quit harassing mermaids.
Yeah, really.
Earth oddity.
Let's just say, blanket say, let's just quit harassing females as guys. Let's just quit harassing females altogether, all right? And traditionally doesn't work out too well for you unless you're like a billionaire Hollywood producer,
Right.
For your normal average Joe, just not working out.
Quit. Everyone quit harassing people.
Right.
If you want to harass me, I'll let you know when to quit.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I really don't struggle with that.
Right. Yeah, but if you're a dude, the way to get a woman to like you back is not through harassing them.
No.
All right? You may want to try, a little humor, brushing your teeth every once in a while, combing your hair, finding out what her interests are, and just being a normal person. All right? You don't have to go harassing folks all the time. It just doesn't work.
It's never going to work.
Yeah, it's never going to work. And so just don't do it. And don't harass mermaids. I feel like we shouldn't have to say that.
Once again, it's something you shouldn't have to say, but in these times we're living in, you got to say it.
Yes. Okay, so I got one more article here, and I got it from people.com. It's and you guys may have saw this. It's on Facebook all week. I think it was in our group too. A Better Call Saul actor reveals he cut off his own arm and lied about being a war veteran to land roles.
Oh, man.
Now, I don't know who this dude is.
This guy is taking method acting to a whole new level.
I haven't watched Better Call Saul, so I don't know anything about it. But actor Todd LaTourette is coming clean about his acting career. During a recent interview with KOB4, he admitted to cutting off his right arm nearly 20 years ago when he was off his medication that he claims treats his bipolar disorder. I severed my hand with a skill saw. LaTourette explained to an outlet the state of mind was a psychotic episode. Following the near-fatal incident, the actor revealed he began getting acting jobs as a war veteran after lying about being injured while serving overseas. The lie helped him land his 2018 role as Scale on Better Call Saul, as well as parts on TV shows Manhattan, Longmire, A Bird in the Air, and The Men Who Stare at Goats. It has also brought him a lot of guilt. It was dishonorable, he said.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm killing my career by doing this. If anyone thinks this is for personal edification, that's not the case. I'm ousting myself from the New Mexico film industry, and gladly. So
he's just coming clean.
Yeah, and gladly. So just to say what I've said. LaTourette went on to explain that he hopes that by sharing his story, he can spread awareness on mental illness and provide hope for those struggling with bipolar disorder. He's got another quote here, which is kind of weird. The power is in your hands to take your medication in the morning or at night.
Shouldn't he have said the power is in your hand?
Yeah, right.
Singular.
So that this discourse of my life doesn't need to necessarily be yours because it happens quick. It happened quick. A representative for LaTourette did not immediately respond to people's requests for comments. And I will say, bipolar disorder and mental health problems, nothing to laugh at all, But I feel like if you cut your arm off and they only listed like 5 or 6 gigs he's gotten here, that maybe his just acting wasn't that good, So maybe he just wasn't that solid of an actor. I don't even know who he is. He's got his picture.
I've seen a lot of that stuff that was mentioned, but I can't think of a one-armed man. He should have been good in The Fugitive.
I haven't watched a single one of those things listed, so I have no idea. But I don't recognize his picture. So, but anyways, I mean, it's bad. You don't want to go lying about, being a veteran or anything. I think it would just be pretty cool to be like, I cut my own hand off.
To get all these roles.
Yeah, to get all these roles. Like, if you'd have went with that in the beginning, people were like, this dude is awesome, Get him in a Steven Seagal movie right away, Yeah. But you want to lie. And I'm glad he's coming clean, That probably shows some growth on his part. Probably some, healing in his mental health, too, that helped him do that. So, anyways, don't cut your hand off, kids. You don't get ahead in life doing that.
Right.
Skill saw, man. That's rough.
That's bad.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Real bad. It's real bad. I would have went bandsaw if I was going to do it.
Man.
Yeah, that'd probably be quicker. Cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might go chainsaw.
Ooh.
And then attach the chainsaw to my bloody stump.
Okay, Ash.
To make me a better fighter of the undead.
Shop smart. Shop is smart. Okay, it's our much anticipated community news ad read here. Got some big news to drop on you.
Yeah, we do. In just a minute.
Yes. First of all, we want to thank our sponsor, world famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, for all of their support.
We're very thankful for our sponsor.
Very thankful. That's right. This is a season of Thanksgiving.
It is.
Check them out at www.cajuncurl.com. You can order the spice and their Cajun Curl cutter for potatoes right there on cajuncurl.com. It was created on the Elm Bayou.
The thankful Elm Bayou.
In Evangeline Parish, Louisiana. And it's a seasoning that goes on everything. If you like cooking or eating, this is a spice for you. Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice goes well with chicken, beef, pork, turkey, dressing, turdunkins, pumpkin pie,
hams,
and anything else you can think of. The spiral potato cutter is absolutely amazing. It's easy to use, easy to clean, and it will allow you to make your own chips for Thanksgiving.
I bet you could do an awesome casserole with it too.
Oh yeah,
potato casserole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man.
But imagine like a cornucopia on your table with just Cajun Curl spice potato chips just flowing out of it that people...
Okay, now I want one.
Exactly, yes, exactly. I mean, and it would change your family's life, really. They would be like, man, Aunt Linda makes the best potato chips, has the best Thanksgiving. I don't want to go back to Grandma's anymore.
I was about to say, all you women out there, imagine how awesome you're going to feel when your mother-in-law comes up to you and asks for that recipe.
Exactly.
And then you get to smile and say, family secret.
On their website, CajunCurl.com, you can not only order the original Bayou Blended Spice, but the Cajun Curl chip cutter as well. You'll also find recipes that are absolutely mind-blowing. You can locate your nearest retailer or order your own. If your local grocer doesn't carry world-famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice, ask them to start stocking it. Locally, it's available at Vowels on Skyline, at South's Finest Meats, and in Northport at Piggly Wiggly. And all of their products are made in the USA, so not only do you enjoy the taste of Cajun Curl, but you feel patriotic while you enjoy your meal. It's
absolutely
like Hulk Hogan riding a bald eagle, eating a barbecue sandwich.
Yes.
Yes. It's all natural and it's low salt. It has a little kick to it, but it doesn't burn your lips. World famous Cajun Curl Bayou Blended Spice. Taste the spice, but not the heat. Now listen up.
Yes, we ask that all of our audience use this spice, but starting today, we don't ask you to pay full price.
That's right, exactly. We got a deal for you. Go to CajunCurl.com, check them out, and use the promo code EOP10 to get a 10% discount.
That is EOP10.
Right, EOP10, and you will get a 10% discount on your order. Now, if you already ordered
our love.
Yeah, if you already ordered it at full price, we thank you. But order another one just to get that 10% discount, you know?
Because you're probably out of
you're burning through it anyways.
You're out of your first can anyway.
Yes, you're burning through it anyways. And so you need to go ahead and get stocked up. Place your order now. And
because Thanksgiving's coming.
Thanksgiving's coming. I mean, it's what, 2-3 weeks away? So let's get it going. And
absolutely.
Put a little spice to your Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of that bland old Thanksgiving you've been having without Cajun Curl.
What was that coupon code again?
It was EOP10.
EOP10.
EOP
gotcha.
And the number 10. So,
EOP10. EOP is in Earth Oddity Podcast.
That's right. 10.
As in 10% off.
Yeah,
as in money in your pocket.
Exactly.
Cha-ching.
Right. And use that at CajunCurl.com. We thank them for everything they do for us, too, by the way. Especially thank you for buying lunch the other day. Sorry I had to run early. But yeah, I only get an hour for lunch. So you guys can do whatever you want to. EOP10.
EOP10.
That's right.
Well, for community news this week, again, we don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Man.
So I'm going to...
Hey, can you guys just go leave us? I mean, somebody out there that's listening to this has not left us an iTunes review yet. Just go leave us one so we have something to read next week.
Or a Facebook group.
Yeah. You could go.
Or I know it's a Facebook page
Yeah,
review.
you can review our Facebook page. Do whatever, Call our number, too.
Leave a message. I was about to say, if you can't leave a review somewhere, then call in with your review.
Yeah, that's good. That's excellent. It's my fantasy to have somebody just like email us or whatever and just critique everything we do. Because I know when I listen back to it, I'm like, man, I sure do say these words a lot, like this phrase all the time, And I'm sure people listening pick up on it. So just, I would think that would be really funny to me,
I'm going to dig way down deep. Okay. We have a single solitary Stitcher review.
Ooh. Okay.
From 9 months ago.
All right.
Which we hadn't even been doing this long.
I know.
This comes from Anonymous. Brings out the odd in us all. This show is great. John and Tiny share odd news stories and give their uninformed take.
Uninformed.
Yes.
I like that.
You'll laugh as you try to make sense of their rambling. Tiny is the one that tries to sound smart, while John is there to take things off on unrelated tangents. Listen and you won't regret it. 5 stars.
Well, whoever did that has us pegged.
They do.
You know, they knew 9 months ago the direction this show was headed.
They did.
Yeah. So if you're out there listening, it's not going to take you long to do any of those things we mentioned. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
some of you have out there have been telling yourself that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But
you just hadn't done
talk
it.
is cheap.
That's right. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
Works and faith go hand in hand. All right. That was our Sunday school lesson this morning.
Let's all take a moment to self-evaluate.
That's right.
And put our love into action.
That's right. Yes.
By leaving us a review.
Yeah.
Or calling in and leaving us a message.
Call and leave a message. That would be cool too. You don't even have to use your name, you know, if you're afraid that we're going to out you
or you can give yourself like a really cool name.
Oh yeah. What if you just and you could be a regular caller or something?
Like you could call in and say, I am
Thunderhawk.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the Vindicator. That'd be great.
I like that. I like it. Yeah.
You have been listening to Earth Oddity Podcast, and we thank you so much for listening to us, no matter where you get us, whether it's Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Acast, Overcast, Podcast Republic, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify. Yeah. We're on them all.
We're on them all. We're everywhere a podcast can be found.
Yes. If you want to email the show, and I don't know why you wouldn't,
right?
You can reach us at earthoddity@planetmail.net.
Boom.
You can tweet at us. We are @_EarthOddity.
Yep. We got an Instagram. Didn't get a picture up this week, but it's @_EarthOddity as well. So,
well, we're going to take a moment to self-evaluate too.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
And I think you can call us too.
You can. And the number is 662-493-2059. That's 662-493-2059. Operators are standing by, so call in now.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you call now, buy one, get one free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, remember to use E.O.P 10 when you order your Cajun Curl at CajunCurl.com.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good week.
Love y'all.
Bye.
This has been a Very Odd production. Thanks for listening.